Hi. So over the years, I've told lots of people, clients and friends and adopters of my foster puppies how to make what I refer to as puppy popsicles. These are my not so secret method for crate training, and they keep puppies very busy, adult dogs too if you're crate training an adult dog. They're a very, very high value treat, so they learn that the crate is awesome because that's the only time they get it. When I have a puppy that I'm crate training and I have puppy popsicles for them, I only give them the puppy popsicles when they're in the crate and usually just before I leave the house. So they start to associate the crate with this awesome thing. Plus, because the peanut butter I use in it is frozen, it takes them a while, anywhere depending on the puppy, between 20 to 30 or 40 minutes to get through all the peanut butter and the treats. And by that time, they're over that I've left. They don't care anymore. And they're usually pretty tired out from trying to get all the goodies out of the whatever I've put the treats into. So they just pretty much take a nap and chill out. So I'm going to show you guys how I do these. It's going to be a little awkward at times because I don't have a way to hold the camera and use two hands, and usually I do these by using two hands. So just bear with me a little bit when it gets a little awkward, and if I fumble the camera around, I'm sorry. I'm not a professional YouTube creator. So let's go. Here's the puppy popsicles. So now I use lots of different stuff for them. So these are hollow marrow bones. Always find ones that have nice thick walls like this so that they can't crack pieces off. Now, I've had older dogs who can crack these in half if they're a thinner walled one. So if they crack pieces off of it or they start to crack one apart, I toss those out because these bone shards can be dangerous. But as long as they stay intact, I always look for ones that have nice thick walls like that. You can get the smaller ones. I use these for smaller puppies or if I'm just going to be gone for, an hour or two and not all day. I have even smaller ones for baby puppies, like these. These are nice thick walls. I like these a lot for baby puppies. I have things like this, which are basically horns, hollow horns. These I think are cow horns. Again, look for ones with nice thick walls. The nice thing about the horns is that these are digestible. They're made of keratin. So as long as they don't get big, huge chunks off them, they can chew on them as well as getting all the goodies out of them. So it makes a nice good chewy for them in the crate too. And then I have things like Kongs, the ever classic Kong. So I have the regular red ones. I have the black one for really hardcore chewers, but I usually just use it anyway. And this is another Kong toy. It's not as durable as these Kongs. As you can see, this one's already a newer one. It's already starting to get pieces out of it. This old one out here, this is one that the big dogs got hold of. That I had a big foster dog who was about a year old, and he pretty much just destroyed it. He cut to the chase. He's like, I'm not making this dealing with this puzzle anymore. I'm just going to open it up all the way. So do beware of that if you have a power chewer, this isn't going to work. But for puppies, especially smaller puppies, this works really well, and it's got a huge capacity in it. So when you buy these, they come with this space filled with a chew treat already. So they have to get that out first, and then you can use it over and over again to fill up with cookies and peanut butter. So here's a couple horns that I'm using for my puppy right now. Again, these are for when it's just snacks. These are the ones I use, these big ones, the Kongs and things, for if I'm going to be gone all day long at work. So here's what I usually use. Usually I like these treats a lot. They come in different flavors. They're fairly healthy. The problem with these is that my current foster puppy is allergic to chicken. So these have chicken meal in them and I can't use them for him. So for him, I just use this puppy kibble. This one happens to be really small because it's for puppies. You can use any dog kibble. If you have a dog like my foster puppy who's allergic to anything and he's on a strict diet or anything, you can just use this kibble too. This will work just fine. So here's my peanut butter that I like to use. I just get the Target brand cheapest one. The natural peanut butters with the oils and everything don't freeze very well. So get the cheap ones. Get the cheap hydrogenated oil peanut butter. The creamy kind works best. I would make sure that you read the label, make sure that it doesn't have xylitol or anything called natural sweeteners, because that's very, very toxic. Natural sweeteners is another word they use for xylitol on labels, and xylitol is extremely toxic to dogs. So do make sure you read the label. So this one was just peanuts, sugar, hydrogenated vegetable oil, molasses. So it's not the healthiest peanut butter, but it's healthy enough and it works really well for puppy popsicles. So I've started ahead a little bit, so you can see on these hollow bones where I sort of just fill in the bottom. You can see how far down that goes. It's not very far, it goes in about this far. And then I fill in the rest with some of the kibble. So I'm gonna do that right now and hopefully not spill it everywhere. I have the cleanup crew at the ready here. There's my foster puppy Hudson and my dog Violet, who are ready because they know what I'm doing, and they get very, very excited about puppy popsicles because they know that I may spill. So again, I usually do this with 2 hands, so I'm just gonna fill in some kibble and hopefully not spill it everywhere into here. The one I've already pre-filled the bottom of. So I fill these pretty far with kibble. That's actually a little bit too much. I fill these pretty far with kibble so that it's really only about the last 1.5 inches or so of the bone that has peanut butter in it, okay? So I'm just getting peanut butter all over my kitchen here. So really just fill it up. Sorry, again, awkward. So I'm just gonna fill up the end of this with peanut butter, which is very hard to do one-handed. Let's see if I can. That'll work. Hang on, bear with me, guys. Bear with me. I don't know if this is gonna work. All right, hopefully this will work. Okay. So fill it up with peanut butter in the end. And it doesn't need to be neat and tidy, but it will not get your freezer quite so full of peanut butter if you do try to be neat about it. So I just filled that up. So we got both ends capped with peanut butter. The other ones I do, like I said, are kongs. So here's a kong, nice hollow kong treat. If you notice, these kongs always have a hole at both ends. This is so it doesn't cause suction and lock your dog's tongue in there, because there's some toys that have done that to dogs. So be sure you get a real verifiable kong, so it will make sure that it has that little safety hole on the end. So we just fill this up with kibble as well. Trying not to spill it everywhere. Oh, here goes the cleanup crew. Ah. Okay, so with the kongs, I fill them up to, I don't know if you, how well you can see that. I fill it up about 2/3, so it's about full up to about, it's full. Sorry guys, it's full up to about here with the kibble. So that's about 2/3 of the kong in there with kibble. Can't really see it. There we go. There's some light. Or cookies or whatever. And then I fill the rest of that up with peanut butter as well. And doesn't want to stay? Okay. So I fill up the rest of the kong with peanut butter. Just squish that down in there really well. Usually it's not this messy because, again, I usually am using 2 hands to do all this stuff, and I can't do that when I have no videographer to help me with this. So I'll usually just scrape off the end cap there so it's not super messy. And there you have a puppy popsicle, kong style. So again, we have these kind, we have the kongs, we have the big marrow bones, we have the short marrow bones. Same thing applies with the big marrow bones. I fill in the bottom part first, and I fill it up maybe about 1 inch or so, half an inch or so in. Fill up the rest with kibble, top it off the last, 1 inch to ½ inch with peanut butter. Same thing with these. So that's really mostly peanut butter in these. It's really mostly kibble or treats in these rather than peanut butter. The peanut butter just acts as a sort of initial barrier because it's frozen, and it takes them a while to get through all that peanut butter, and then they can get the kibble out. So sometimes with like these things, what I'll do to make it a little harder if I have an older puppy, is I will, after I've filled in the bottom part with the peanut butter. So you see it's not very deep in there. after I filled in the bottom part with the peanut butter, I'll take some peanut butter and I'll smear it around the inside because these have a nice big opening. I'll smear it around the inside a little bit, just so that it creates sort of a nice little coating. See there, a nice little coating of peanut butter on the inside. And again, sorry for the awkwardness. I'm doing my best. And then I fill up the rest with kibble. So then we have kibble in there. And then I'll cap it off with peanut butter again on the top. So that way, the kibble, as you can see, kind of sticks to that peanut butter. So after it's frozen, it makes it a little harder because otherwise this is super easy for them to get kibble out of, obviously. So it just makes it a little bit harder. It takes a little bit longer to get the kibble or the treats out of there. So again, normally, I don't use kibble. Normally I use treats like this, the Nutri treats. You can use any treats that are about this size, just little bite-sized things because they're small and they'll fit into all these different things really easily. Or if you have a puppy or a dog who has allergies, just use kibble. They're normal kibble. It's like lunch. If you're doing these, be sure that you're cutting back their food, their daily meals, morning and evening meals, a little bit because they are getting extra fat and feedings from this. This is kind of like lunch, so think of this as lunch. So just cut back what you feed them normally in the morning and evening a little bit, and hopefully I didn't screw that up too much. You know, I'm covered in peanut butter, and I'm going to finish making all these. Now, when I've made all these, I just stick them right in the freezer. They stay in the freezer. I usually do these like Sunday or Monday night, and so I have plenty for the whole week. Obviously, I have a lot of these, so this will be like a couple weeks worth, or if I need to go out again in the evening or something, because that happens with my job a lot, then I have extra small ones I can give the puppy if he needs to be crated again. Otherwise, just do as many as you need for the week. You don't necessarily need this many. If you don't mind doing another batch of them, you know, midweek, then just do like three or so on Sunday or Monday. I do recommend having a few different items though, because that way it's a lot easier if you just do them all at once, keep them frozen, and just grab one in the morning before you go to work, pop it in the crate with the puppy, and off you go. Okay? If you have any questions, just send me an email or send me a comment when I post this, and I will be happy to answer them. Thanks. Bye.